Hello! Welcome again sa ating show, Walang Plastikan. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we have a very interesting topic, which is poverty and plastic pollution. Ano ang kaugnayan ng kahirapan sa plastic pollution? And somebody could say, teka muna, mas malakas ang pollution ng plastic sa mayaman ng bansa. If you think about it, sa Europea, ang per head plastic pollution per year is 480 kilos. So, alos kalahating tonelada sa isang tao. Sa Philippines naman is only 26 kilo. It's just 5%. So, it's much less plastic waste sa poor country kaysa rich country. And then we have to think one issue here is the rich countries don't have enough capacity to manage all the waste. That's why some of this waste is being exported into the poor countries and is contributing to the plastic pollution themselves there. However, we need to think also there is still a different gap in waste management capacity. Kung isipin natin sa Germany, 65% ng waste is recycled. So that's a big chunk of it, While in Indonesia, it's just 10%, So there is a big gap in recycling capacity, in management capacity. Another issue we need to think about is when we talk about poverty and plastic pollution is the sachet economy. And the sachet economy, we all know the sachets, everything sa sari-sari store is packed in a small sachet kasi if you only earn the minimum wage or less, you cannot afford a big container, let's say, of cooking oil or coffee or shampoo. So you just buy a small sachet for 5 pesos and you use it even 3 times. So the problem with the sachet is it is multi-layer. You cannot recycle it. While let's say if you buy it in a big bottle like glass or high-density polyethylene, it is recyclable. So that is a bit different quality of material. So a big problem of plastic pollution, like in countries like in Philippines and Indonesia, is the sachets. Then when they made cleanups, mostly what they find there is sachets, thousands of it. So that's one issue. Another issue is this. If people who have to spend all their time to survive, and then we ask them, okay, recycle your waste. They don't have the time, the energy to do it, It is so hard. You have to take care of your family, you have to pay the bills, you have to buy food, and that takes all of your energy. So in some way, if there is no economic value in the waste, why would people recycle it? And I can understand that very much, So those are a number of issues we need to consider when we think about plastic pollution and poverty. Another issue, and that is what I want to put my main focus today in plastic pollution and poverty, is the existence of informal waste pickers. And those are mostly in countries where you have a big plastic pollution, that are people who have not been employed, but they make a living by picking and selling waste. And there are quite a lot of them. And it's probably not really their wish to do that, their career path. Nobody says, when I'm big, paglaki ko, maging bakal bote ako. Nobody has this kind of nais. But because of poverty, because walang ibang paraan o pang kumita, people will go around and fetch the waste kung saan nila makikita at ipulot at ibibenta. And the size is huge. There are so many of them. They say it's about 0.5 to 2% of the population. So globally, we're talking about 80 to 150 million people. That is the size of Italy and the Philippines together. So even in Metro Manila alone, there are about 300,000 to 500,000 informal waste collectors. So that's already a huge city if you would put that all together. So it's a big part of the population. So we need to talk about them and we need to think about them because malaki ang kanilang impact doon sa waste management system ng ating city, ng ating place. And so there are different kinds of waste pickers. So let us talk, they're not all the same. So there are those we know who are in payatas on the dump site. They go through the waste. You also call them scavengers, and because they're scavenging in the waste. It's the most difficult one because the waste already being sorted by others. Kung anong natira lang yun ang kukunin nila, and then they are also very much exposed to environmental hazards. Then you have the ones on the street who go around and open the plastic sacks and then they get out kung ano makikita nila. Then you have those sa mga tour steps, they come, they collect it. Then you have yung mga push cart. Then you have the ghouls on the trucks. Yung mga doon sa truck sa basura, once they collect, they throw that up. Nakita mo, they are also looking ano mga pwede natin maibenta yon o pangdagdag sa sweldo nila. So they already pre-sorting it, And then you have those who work in junk shops, mostly yung mga magsusort, magko-clean ng mga bote, o yung mga pahinante, mga kiryas, magdi-deliver ng truck yung sa recycling store. So that is the different kinds of waste pickers that we have. Ano ang buhay nila? So that is the next question. So mostly they earn between 250 and 500 pesos a day. Mostly in rainy season, less kasi pag may bagyo, hindi sila makalabas. Ang karamihan na kanila live in informal settlements and in the waste value chain, they are the lowest of the lowest kasi normally the waste pickers, they sell to the junk shop sells to sometimes it's a sideline also for other people, mga construction worker, kung walang construction, magpakalbote lang muna sila. And sometimes it's involving the whole family. So somebody's collecting, the others are cleaning, tanggalin yung mga label, tanggalin yung mga cup, and then sorting it. So often the whole family is involved in the waste picking and waste management economy. So that is the life that they are living. And in the society, they feel marginalized. So there were studies done, and about 70% ng mga waste pickers feel they are socially excluded in society. Hindi sila feeling na membro sila ng sanlibutan. They are parang nasa margins sila. And often also 50% experience harassment. Habang na-collecta sila ng basura, they're being harassed maybe by gangs, by police, whatsoever, So that is also happening. At what we also see is in waste picking, yung mga lalaki mostly mas malakas ang kita kaysa mga babae because they can carry heavy loads. Minsan may mga fridge or washing machine, they can remove it and then they can get the tanso, which is the most expensive one in waste picking. And so they are earning more. Pero ang trabaho ng mga waste picker is dangerous. May mga panganib, may mga risk. Especially those who are living and working on the dump site kasi there are fumes, chemicals, hazardous waste that they are getting into contact. And they found that in the doon sa katas ng dating ng mga waste pickers, there are toxic chemicals which they are passing on to their children. So if you think about that, that is really, when I heard this, heartbreaking, bakit ganon? Why have people to live like that, Another issue is the danger of hurt. Maybe there is glass, there are nails, others when you scavenge in the waste bags, people cut themselves, then the wounds get easily infected because there is a lack of hygiene, lack of protective gear. People can sometimes have to carry heavy loads for long distances. They are exposed to the weather. They are exposed to the air pollution, lalo sa mga city. And often they have to walk more than 10 kilometers every day. So these are the risks that waste pickers are encountering during their work. So it's not an easy job. This money, those 250 to 500 pesos, this is hard-earned money. Actually, they find out ito mga waste pickers working 8 to 12 hours a day to make a living. So that's hard work. It's back-breaking work. But we have to see also, we should really not look down on them because they are also making a big impact in our society, in our environment. Actually, sila mga heroes, sila mga first environmentalists ng ating bansa. Because all the waste that they collect is more than the formal waste management system. Mas epektibo sila because syempre they will earn. Actually, in Quezon City, 31% of the waste of Quezon City is being recycled because of the informal sector. So how much is the formal sector recycling? It's only 8% of the waste, So you see, kung wala sila, the landfills would be already finished for a long time. It's just because of them that the system is still working. And they are providing raw material for the economy. All the recycling companies there in Valenzuela, they are surviving on the waste pickers because that are the main suppliers who will bring the waste there. So it can be made into new commodities. And so they are contributing to the local economy. They are contributing to the survival of their families. And they are helping the government to save a lot of money because bumaba ang gastos doon sa tracking ng basura because they're already removing a lot from the waste stream to put it into the recycling stream. So that is a very, very important contribution, I would say. And so I respect highly every person who is doing this hard and dangerous work. Now, ang tanong ay ito. What can we do to help them? How can we help the informal sector, empower the informal sector? And one issue is, or important thing is, that people are getting organized. Actually, there is a global association of waste pickers. There is one also in the Philippines. And for them to form organizations, to form cooperatives, having a voice, being united is something that will help them a lot. So they are not anymore overlooked, but they can say kung ano ang kailangan nila. Then it needs policies to protect them. So responsibilidad ng gobyerno is protecting people who work in the informal sector. Then another issue is to provide protective gears, things like that. Push carts so they don't have to carry the heavy yung mga sako, mga guantes, mga face mask, mga ganun bagay, mga bota. So at least when they, mga raincoats, so when they're outside, at least they can protect their health when they are doing this job. That is something that's very important. Then there is access to education and skill training. So they have a chance to improve their life because they have shown they are hardworking people, So let's give them a chance to improve their plot, not to be waste speakers forever, but maybe to get to higher paying employment. Then another issue is to provide access to capital. So because they need a capital to go around. Access to insurance, because in case they get sick, may insurance sila. Access to other financial services like banking or something, so that yung kaprasong pero na at least mag-ipon sila ng konti, or they can at least safeguard it upang hindi manakaw yung pera nila. So there are ways to help that the informal sector can become formalized, become empowered, and there are a lot of different approaches, and today I want to show you one approach which we are doing in the organization I'm part of, Plastic Bank. Plastic Bank is working in the Philippines, in Indonesia, Haiti, Egypt, and mostly working with informal sectors to provide exactly those kind of services which I have mentioned, to help people getting out of informality, get access to bank accounts, get access to education. Like in Haiti, even ang karamihan nila don't know how to read and write, so there is literacy training, and so people can get hope, get a dignity through their work, and believe that what they're doing is worthwhile and it can provide a future and a better future for them and para sa kanilang pamilya. So now I want to show you a video from a place where I've spent a lot of time. I've been from Baseco in Manila. I've been a lot of time in Baseco when I live in the Philippines. So the people were looking, ay, may puti pala dito. So I was running around like it was my home, and people say, hindi ka ba natatakot dyan? Delikado to. But never ever did anything happen to me there in Baseco, People were always very, very friendly, very good memories going around in Baseco. And now I want to show you a video of Aling Vicky, who is a waste speaker in Baseco. Actually, I know her personally. She's a very, very hardworking, sweet lady. So let's hear kung ano ang masasabi ni Aling Vicky tungkol sa kanyang buhay. Let's show the video, please.
Ang solusyon sa plastic, mas maganda yun, iipon mo siya nga malayo sa bahay sa mga tao, parang madelikado yung mga bata. Sa plastic nang kami, stick sweeper, kinadampot namin yun, isulod sa sako. Pagdating na sa basura, binabantayan namin ang truck sa basura, iuna namin yung mga plastic pagkatapos sigigit. Pero yung plastic, kailangan ilabas yun dito sa Baseco. Araw-araw namin yan ginagawa, hindi namin nag-iipon dito sa amin. Gigawa namin nga ilabas. Kahit may importante ka pang trabaho, importante mong ilabas yung mga basura nga di mabulok. Yung kumakayod kami, kay kumakain, may gastos ka pa, may mga anak ka pang mangingi. Oo, may apo. Kailangan kakayod. Kung di ka kakayod, magkasakit ka rin. Hindi ka upo. O, sa edad namin ngayon, pwede nga hindi ka kakayod. O. Itong pamember na ko dito kay ma'am, binigyan ako kariton, yung mga sako. Dito na ako nakahawas ko sa kahirapan, hindi na ako mahirapan nga, akong mabili, makabili ko kaagad. Kaya na ako'y kita, kaya manguleksyon ko, na 20, na 10, o kabili na akong bigas kalahating kilo. Kabili na ako og ulam, sabon, shampoo, lahat di mabili nimo pag uwi nimo sa bahay. Dili katulad sa wala din kang kita nga magwalis, basura lang itapon mo. Maraming salamat sa Plastic Bank. mga binigay niya sa akin. Maraming salamat po. Ako po si Vicky Cabual, nakatira dito sa Block 6 Old Site sa Port Area, Manila, Baseco.
Okay, thank you so much for this video. I think a very touching story ni Aling Vicky, how her life has improved, that putting value into plastic, and providing self-worth and the necessities of life. If you can't afford the necessities of life, is a very, very difficult situation. And so Plastic Bank is not only providing cash by paying a premium price, but also cell phone service, health insurance, savings. In other countries, also school tuition, fresh food, cooking fuel, and so on. And it's expanding and expanding. So during the pandemic, also kind of mga protective gears, so people can really go out and start earning again, because the basura is there, the plastic is there, it needs to be collected, and so I think that is not something great that Plastic Bank is doing. I think it's just what we are supposed to do. The people who collect our waste, who make this hard work, they deserve it. They have a right to live in a dignified way. They have a right to buy and to have all the things they need for life. It's our responsibility as a society. That is what I would say here. Now, one final thought I want to give to you about poverty and plastic pollution, and that the value of plastic pollution could actually end poverty. How much does it cost to end poverty? Any idea? Research has shown it costs about $175 billion spent for 20 years. Each year, $175 billion we spend. If you do that and invest that into anti-poverty programs, poverty could be finished within the next 20 years. Would that be wonderful? Wala nang mahirap. Everybody has enough. Everybody can live a life in a peaceful environment with all their needs met. Would that not be ideal? Would that not be what God is calling us to do? Now, if we think about the value of plastic that we throw away as a society, you know how much it is worth? The plastic we tinatapon natin araw-araw? It's about $120 billion that is lost to the economy every year by the plastic, just the plastic that we throw. Ang yaman natin, ano? Tapon natin $120 billion. Sana 119 na lang. Bigay mo na sa akin na 1 billion. Masaya na ako. Pero, grabe, ano? $120 billion being thrown away by humanity. But think about this. If we can use this money, if we can retrieve the plastic and use it to stop poverty, we would almost have the money we need. And that is the idea of Plastic Bank, actually. Collect the plastic and use it to stop poverty. And we as a society can do that. We could do that. It's not easy, it's a lot of work, it's difficult, but we could do it. If you think value for value, plastic could create the value that ends poverty. So that would be a good story for plastic instead of being a hazard, instead of being a waste, instead of being a material that destroys life, restoring people out of poverty. Why don't we do that? It makes a lot of sense, and I committed myself to do that. That's why I'm working with Plastic Bag. And I think that is a thought I want to give you for tomorrow, for the World Environment Day, that the plastic that you use, whether you live in the Philippines and it's 25 kilos per year, or you live in Germany and you use 450 kilos a year of plastic waste, use at least part of it to stop poverty. How can you do that, you know? So that is my thought for you today. Imagine we have 300,000 to 500,000 waste pickers in Metro Manila alone. And we have the chance to change their lives just by the plastic that we use. It's a wonderful thought, isn't it? Now that is the end of my show for today. I wish you a happy World Environment Day, exactly like what Dan Diaz has wished me. And Dan, I think you're up again next Friday here in Sustainable PH TV with your wonderful and empowering show, Get It Done. So I hope you will be there so we can all get it done together. And I will be again with you in 2 weeks. And I will interview a very special friend of mine, Jonathan Coe from Sentinel Plastic. Jonathan is a plastic manufacturer, and he has found a way how he can create value from the sachets, and he will share about it. So it's a very, very important episode, and I hope you can be with us again when it's in 2 weeks. Again, ang usapang walang plastikan. Then we'll see you there. Take care. God bless you. And have a great day, a great evening. Bye to all of you. Yeah. Catch the King tomorrow at 10 a.m. Filipino time. Wow, breakfast with the King. That's a wonderful way to start the weekend. Okay, Tim is asking how to set up a plastic bank with the homeless. Yes, Tim, please message me personally and we'll talk about it. Please, we'll see how we can do that. Well, I'm very, very happy to assist you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for writing, Tim. God bless you.